Welcome to the RTV studio on the campus of Martinsville High School. I'm your host, Nate Long, joined, of course, by head coach Brian Duggar. How are you doing today, Coach?
Doing good. Welcome, Nate. First time.
First time ever. This is the first time that Mr. Meyer has not been behind the camera, or in front of the camera, sorry. But, Coach, this season starts tomorrow. B&L comes to town, and there's a lot of new faces, offense and defense. We're losing about over 50% of both sides of the ball. You talk a little bit about the new faces.
Yeah. So, this is an interesting team, an interesting time right now. This is, and I've told a lot of people this, we're really talented. We've got a lot of talent across the board. We just got a lot of new faces, and we're really young. We've got a lot of sophomores playing this year. We've got a lot of young juniors that haven't played varsity playing. But we got some mainstays like yourself and a few other people as well. So it's kind of a really good balance, but I really like where this team is at. But we are going to be pretty young early, and hopefully we'll grow up quickly.
Okay, and then also, there's new players, but there's also a few new coaches.
Yeah.
Leading the defensive side mostly.
Yeah, so Coach Trump is no longer with us. He took a job in Plainfield, be closer to his family. We miss having him. Coach Trump was awesome. We would have loved to have him back, but just he had to make a family decision. But I do feel like we have two really good defensive minds we brought in, bringing in Coach Taylor, who has a lot of defense coordinator experience. Coached with me at Southport as the DC, was a DC at Franklin Community for a while, coached at Roncalli last year. So I feel like we got a really good coach in Coach Taylor to take the place there. And Coach Toller comes in, also a former DC himself at Perry Meridian for quite a while. Great coach. Kids love him. He's hilarious. And he's just been a good fit for our staff as well.
So talking about bouncing right back from the new faces, new coaches, how in just a few words, tell us how the summer went this
Summer was really good. The number one thing you worry about with summer is kids showing up. And I felt like our attendance was great. We didn't have a lot of kids missing for multiple reasons. Kids missed because of other sports or other things going on. We didn't have a lot of, hey, we need to call and wake this person up or that. And that says a lot about your team. When your kids want to be here and they want to get better, that's a big deal. We had some good scrimmages this year. We went up against some really good teams, teams that played deep in the state tournament at multiple levels. Really happy with what we saw this summer. And I thought we competed against everyone and kind of showed that I think we have the capability of being a pretty good football team.
Yeah, and talking about scrimmages, right to the next point, we scrimmaged Columbus East last Friday. How do you think that scrimmage went, even though varsity didn't get a lot of reps, but overall?
Yeah. So it's kind of like an NFL preseason game. Think your last one where your starters only play for a little bit. But there's certain things you're looking for. You're looking at the line of scrimmage. You're looking for mistakes. Our varsity players really only played 10 plays or so. But you want to see, is the line of scrimmage is changing? Are we defeating blocks? Are we tackling? And are we going to the right spots? And I felt like we accomplished all that. First play of the game, obviously on offense, Braden goes 65 yards. You do a great job of caving down the backside, changing that line of scrimmage. He makes one guy miss. We're off to the races. Those are the things you're looking for. We're not looking for huge schematic things. We're looking for how do we just line up and play fundamentally. So that was a really good sight to see. Hopefully you do that a lot more. But those are the things
those
are the things we're looking for when we do this.
And let's look at the highlights.
I thought, our defense did a great job too as well. The first unit didn't allow Columbus East to score on them. They got a few against our second unit, which is fine. That's good reps for them and them kind of seeing better talent. But I thought our defense was flying around. I thought I think we got 2 4-and-outs on them early. Here's a 4th down play, and Damon Terrell with a great tackle in open field, which we'll kind of prelude to that here in a second because that's going to be a big theme this week. But overall, just I thought our defense played pretty well and flew around. There's Lucas Dewey making a great play.
Like you said, a lot of new faces out here. A lot of people who didn't play last year.
Yeah, so far in the highlights, we've shown 3 or 4 guys that weren't starters last year. And there's a fumble. I think it's Adam Branham who pops on that. So another sophomore out there is going to potentially see some time. Just a good group of kids right now, and we're making some really good plays there in open field and open space. And I was really impressed with our defense. I was glad to see them making their fits and being physical. And then on the offensive side of the ball, like I said, there's Nate. You see the cave down, Braden makes one guy miss. We get a good block from Cameron Wilson. He's off to the races. And what's beautiful is, Braden gained 20 pounds this offseason, and to see him not lose a step is huge, So we were expecting big things from him. Then you turn around the next play, and we get to show off A.J. Reynolds, our new quarterback, along with Hunter Stroud there. I think the two of them are going to have a fun year. They've kind of got a little connection working right now. A.J.'s been a great, addition for us, and we're glad to have him. And then Hunter Stroud's just turned into the player, a really important player for us. And Cameron Willison switching to offense this year, played defense the last 2 years. He's done a great job this summer. And like I said, I told him yesterday, he was kind of competing for a spot, and he's really earned that spot out there. Now you can see some of our some other stuff going on. Our little younger guys getting some action. Here's Bo Dilley, nice move. Not exactly his forte, but he makes it looks pretty good there. It may have been the highlight of the scrimmage. I think our sideline lost their minds for a half second. Good play here as well. We've got the 3 or 4 guys flying to the ball, and again, there you see a lot of our second unit guys out there. Some guys getting some reps that normally wouldn't. Again, here's got Adam Branham at quarterback now, second unit offense out there. Good run here by Caden Collier. Just it's good for those guys to get those reps. They're gonna be playing a game Saturday against Bedford, but more importantly, they got to get better, and that's one of the beautiful things about them going up against the other team's varsity like this in the scrimmage. They're going to get more reps, so we really like doing that. I know different teams approach the scrimmage different ways, but that's kind of been our philosophy. And here's the freshman group, and again, our freshman group went out there and played against Columbus East JV, so good for them to go up against a better opponent. They did some good things. I think they scored a touchdown or 2. I think here's one of them, good throw here. So they showed that they're capable of doing stuff. Chase Davis there and Riley Butler. That they've got some weapons that I think they can make some plays this year. And then Landon Casey here with a great catch and then run afterwards. So a lot of good things from those young guys. Good for them to get out there on the field and kind of show what they're capable of doing.
I'm talking about the field. We have a new field this year.
Yeah, it was kind of frustrating this summer practicing on the grass. I mean, it was not to be soft or anything, but it's very convenient to have the turf to practice on. And all of June we had to practice on the grass field, and then we transitioned in June or July, and it's just beautiful. And now you add in the lights, you add in the scoreboard, the jumbotron. I don't know what's next, but I hope the hits keep coming because it's impressive what we got going on right now.
Yeah. Now we're going to shift our focus more to B&L.
Yep.
Season opener. Always been our season opener for the last, 4 or 5 years. What's your thoughts, just off the top, B&L as a team?
Yeah, so B&L, they're always an interesting team to go against. They're in our sectional now. I think they're a well-coached football team. I think Coach Barker does a great job. They play physical. They're usually sound in what they do. Some of the teams we play here and there, they're not always the most sound. I think B&L does a good job of being sound. And then they usually have 2 or 3 guys that are just really good football players. And I think they've got a really special one this year. So we're going to have our hands full with him. But it's a great opener for us. It should be a great environment, and excited for it.
Yeah, but talking about special players, Memphis Loudon.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's going to be their offense. There's everything for them, really.
Yeah, and I said this in their little radio down there in Bedford when they called the other night. The kid's gotten better from his sophomore to junior year, from game 1 to sectional game last year. I think he's gotten better each time, and the film I've seen on him already, they don't do much in the scrimmage, but he looks really good again. He can sling it a little bit. He's got a cannon. He can send that thing 60 yards. I think he does a great job with his reads, but I think he's also dangerous with the ball in his hands. So just kind of all around, good football player and someone that kind of keeps you up late at night trying to figure out how you're going to stop him.
I'm talking right back from Memphis Loudon. What about the whole offense? What is he going to be as the helm leader of that thing, what are they going to do?
Yeah, so they're kind of a spread option team, if you will. Not so much spread as option like you think triple and midline and stuff like that. More so like zone read options, just kind of really trying to keep the ball in his hand as much as possible. Got a couple really nice running backs, do a good job, and they got some athletic receivers out wide that can run by you if you fall asleep. So I think they what they do offensively is really good stuff. It's sound, and it causes problems. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they're a 3-4 defense. I think they're solid up front. I think they do a good job of blending in, which the 3-4 is a change for them, by the way, because they were a stacked defense. So it's kind of a new look for them. A lot of things are the same, but it is a new look. But I think they got a linebacker that's really good size, and he moves decent for his size.
He's also their starting guard.
He's good size, and he moves well for his size. And then they've got a couple guys. One of their safeties, I think, is a 2 or 3 year starter, and the Maddox Ray kid. He's pretty solid too. I think they're just a well coached and solid football team.
Like you said, I mean, we have a lot of new faces ourselves, but so do they. They got a lot of new faces. Whole new D line. Almost all the linebackers are new.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of both teams trying to find themselves early in the season.
And that's usually early season games. You're trying to figure out where you're at. It's a summertime, and there's one day summer and early in the preseason here where you kind of like, oh, I think we're really good. Oh, or the next play you're like, oh, we're not very good. So it's kind of trying to figure out where you're at. But overall, I think they're a solid football team. What I've seen on the film so far, I think they're going to have a good year again, and I just hope they aren't successful in week 1.
So, Coach, what are the keys to the game for this week?
So defensively, it's going to be making sure we're gap sound. Everybody's doing their job in the right spots. And then I think a big part of it is open field tackles. We're going to have to get the Loudon kid down and those other guys in open space down. They're going to try and create matchups where he's one-on-one in space with people, and we're going to have to get him down. So if we're doing our job, playing assignment football, I think we'll be in the right spots, and then we just got to make the tackles at that point in time. Offensively, it's know our job, know our assignment, and we got to be physical up front, and more importantly is we got to be mentally dialed in, and that goes at all levels. That's quarterback, that's linemen, that's receivers, everybody doing all the things that we ask, and this, we ask a lot of our offensive players to be very mental. It's not just to line up and do this. We ask you guys to read things and react and communicate. So we've got to be really dialed in with our mental side of things this week, especially being game 1.
Thank you, Coach, for coming out.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And good luck Friday.
Yeah, good luck to both of us.
Yeah. For Bo Dilly, Mr. Meyer, Coach Duggar, and myself, Nate Long, this is the first edition of Inside Martinsville Football.